The skies over the Middle East fell suddenly silent. Late on Friday, major international airlines made an extraordinary decision, canceling dozens of flights to Israel and key Gulf destinations in a coordinated wave of suspensions. Routes to Tel Aviv vanished from departure boards. Flights to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates were grounded. For travelers across Europe and North America, plans collapsed overnight. KLM, Air France, British Airways, Lufthansa, Swiss International Airlines, names synonymous with global travel, all pulled back at once. Air Canada canceled 4 flights into Israel. United Airlines followed suit. Airlines rarely make such moves lightly. The financial cost is immense, the disruption enormous. Yet the decisions appeared synchronized, suggesting access to shared intelligence pointing to escalating danger. As planes stayed on the ground, a warning echoed from Ankara. Turkey's foreign minister cautioned that Israel is seeking an opportunity to strike Iran. His words landed as tensions between Israel and Iran intensified, not only through proxy conflicts, but through direct military confrontations that have pushed the region closer to the brink. At Gurion Airport, the impact was immediate. All international operations were grounded until at least Friday morning, as per reports. Israel's flag carrier, El Al, suspended flights indefinitely. Even domestic air travel was halted. Israeli airspace, usually crowded and constant, appeared eerily empty. Passengers were left scrambling. One traveler flying from Amsterdam to Tel Aviv watched their KLM flight canceled, then rushed to book with El Al, only to see that option disappear as well. Across Europe, airlines extended suspensions through the weekend, cutting overnight routes and daytime services alike. Behind the scenes, the stakes are rising fast. The Israel-Iran rivalry has long played out in the shadows. Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Israeli strikes on Iranian-linked targets across the region. But now, the conflict feels dangerously close to open escalation. This comes as in Washington, the rhetoric sharpened. U.S. President Donald Trump spoke of a massive fleet moving toward Iran, saying he hoped he would not need to use it.
We're watching Iran. We're watching Iran. You know, we have a lot of ships going that direction, just in case. We have a big flotilla going in that direction, and we'll see what happens. It's a big force. We have a big force going toward Iran. I'd rather not see anything happen, but we're watching them very closely. I stopped 837 hangings on Thursday. They would have been dead. Every one of them would have been hung. This is like from 1,000 years ago. This is an ancient culture. Very smart people, by the way, but it's an ancient culture. 837, mostly young men, were going to be hung on Thursday. And I said, if you hang those people, you're going to be hit harder than you've ever been hit. It'll make what we did to your Iran nuclear look like peanuts. And an hour before this horrible thing was going to take place, they canceled it. And they actually said they canceled it. They didn't postpone it, they canceled it. So that was a good sign. But we have an armada. We have a massive fleet heading in that direction. And maybe we won't have to use it. We'll see.
U.S. officials confirmed the USS Abraham Lincoln and guided missile destroyers were heading to the Middle East alongside potential new air defense systems to protect American bases. The situation remains fluid. Airlines say they are reassessing conditions hour by hour, but one thing is clear. When the world's biggest carriers ground their fleets at the same time, it is no longer business as usual. It is a warning.
President Donald Trump warns the United States would wipe Iran off the map if Tehran were to assassinate him. Speaking in a televised interview, Trump said he has issued what he called very firm instructions, making clear that if anything were to happen to him, Iran would face total destruction. The remarks are among his most explicit and sweeping threats yet against the Islamic Republic, sharply escalating already dangerous tensions. Trump said he had instructed advisors to obliterate Iran if the country were found responsible for any attempt on his life. The language leaves little room for ambiguity and signals a posture of absolute retaliation, even as diplomatic channels between Washington and Tehran remain deeply strained. President Trump, however, was non-committal about where military options currently stand against Iran.
So with Iran, they were going to hang 837 people, and I let them be known that, and we let them know that if that happens, that will be a very bad day for them. And they decided not to do it. They didn't hang the people. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future, but supposedly they've taken that off the table. But they were going to, last week, they were going to hang on Thursday or Wednesday. They were going to hang, I think, 837 people, and they didn't hang anybody. So we're just going to have to see what happens with Iran.
The comments come amid growing unrest inside Iran, where mass protests over the collapsing economy and political repression have shaken the leadership. At the same time, exchanges between U.S. and Iranian officials have become increasingly hostile, raising fears of a wider confrontation. Earlier, Iran warned Trump against taking any action targeting its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has ruled the country for nearly 4 decades. A spokesperson for Iran's armed forces said that any aggression against the leader would be met with devastating retaliation, promising to not only strike back, but to set fire to what he described as the enemy's world.
We do not pay attention to Trump's bluster. He knows that if any hand is raised to assault our leader, we will not only cut off that hand decisively and courageously, and this is not just rhetoric, but we will set their world on fire. We will strip them of any security and leave no safe place for them.
The exchange follows Trump's recent criticism of Khamenei in a separate interview, where he described the Iranian leader as a sick man who should run his country properly and stop killing people. Trump went further, saying it was time for new leadership in Iran, remarks that struck at the heart of the regime's authority. The Iran supreme leader hits back and calls Trump a criminal.
That the President of the United States, he himself personally intervened in this turmoil, spoke out, made comments, and issued threats. He encouraged the instigators of unrest, sent a message from America to these individuals, and I will tell you later who they were.
Keep moving forward, don't be afraid. He said, we will support you, we will provide military aid. I mean, the U.S. President himself. He entered the sedition. He's part of the seditions. They inflicted injury on the people.
How many thousands of innocent people have these individuals murdered?
Young people are also emotional. Teenagers are emotional. They are coming onto the playing field. They are doing things that they should not be doing. They're doing naughty things they shouldn't be doing.
These are the infantry forces. This is not enough. Yes, we quelled the sedition, but it's still not enough. America must be held accountable. Our different systems must. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, along with various other diverse governmental bodies, particularly those agencies directly involved in this specific task, must diligently pursue this matter. We are not leading this country into a war. We do not have any intention of taking the country in the direction of war.
We don't allow entry to domestic criminals either.
Worse than our own domestic criminals are the international ones. We won't let them in either. It must be confronted using its very own methods. This task must be properly pursued and thoroughly followed up, and by the divine grace of God, the Iranian nation.
Tensions have been building since Iranian authorities launched a violent crackdown on nationwide protests that erupted late last year. Demonstrations, initially driven by economic hardship, quickly evolved into broader challenges to the country's leadership, prompting a severe response from security forces. Trump has drawn what he described as two red lines for Iran: the killing of peaceful protesters and the use of mass executions in the aftermath of the unrest. Yet he has stopped short of clearly outlining what military options remain on the table, saying only that the situation is being watched closely and that events will determine what comes next. The scale of the unrest has been significant and deadly. A US-based human rights group shows at least 4,519 people have been killed in the protests, though there has been no independent verification of the figure. Iranian officials have acknowledged thousands of deaths, with Khamenei himself admitting over the weekend that several thousand people had been killed, while blaming the United States for fueling the unrest. As rhetoric intensifies, military movements are also drawing scrutiny. The U.S. aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln has been observed moving from the South China Sea toward the Indian Ocean, accompanied by 3 destroyers. While the U.S. Navy has declined to confirm the strike group's destination, its course suggests it could reach the Middle East within days. The deployment comes as Washington weighs its next steps, with analysts warning that even unintended incidents could spiral rapidly under the current climate of threats and counter-threats.